Welcome to Bake It Mum at hampshirecookerydemonstrations.co.uk. Today we're doing spaghetti bolognese because we feel that it has become such a traditional dish in our country that people everywhere are doing it and think, oh, I can make a spaghetti bolognese, but I think over the years we've forgotten the things that really go into it. Now I'm sure that if Gino D'Acampo is watching this film as it goes on, he'll be saying this is not spaghetti bolognese. But this is how I make spaghetti bolognese, and it is really tasty. It's got quite a lot in it, but it's evolved a bit more from just chopping an onion, throwing in some beef mince and adding a tin of tomatoes. So let's have a go. So what I've done is I've prepared everything in advance just for ease of time, and I'm just going to go through the ingredients that you need if you want to do my spaghetti bolognese. So what I've done is I've chopped up some red onion, some celery and some carrot, and the details as always will be on the website, and some garlic, so that's in there all ready to go. I've got some olive oil in the pan, which I'm just going to warm a little bit, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweat the vegetables that I've chopped for a little while to make them nice and soft, because there's nothing worse than having a spaghetti bolognese that's crunchy because the onions haven't been cooked properly. So once the oil is a little bit warmer, I'm going to put those in. Then I've got the meat that's going in there, and I think this is one of the key things where we have changed how we make spaghetti bolognese, because I've not just got beef mince, I've got pork mince. So I've got here about 400 grams of steak mince and about just over 200 grams of pork mince. I've got some chopped herbs, there's some fresh, some dried, just purely because I didn't have them all fresh. I've got some fresh basil, fresh rosemary and dried thyme. If you can get fresh, I do think it is better, but it's not a deal breaker. So that's that. And here we've got some pancetta, which is lovely, it really adds to the flavour, so we're going to put that in as well. I've got some red wine, which I saved through dedication just for you guys last night and declined having the last glass in the bottle. I've also got some milk, which you probably think is a bit odd, and so did I when I first did it, but it really does add to a sort of creamy texture to the sauce. I've got 2 tins of chopped tomatoes, and I've got some tomato puree. There you go. So this is all going to go in. So the preparation really is the longest part. So in go my veg, my chopped onions, celery and tomato. Just put that on. And I'm going to sweat these for about 5 minutes. Okay. Just give them a nice mix. What I'm going to do now is just add a little pinch of salt. I don't like to put too much salt on, because I always think people can do that afterwards, but I do like a little bit. So there's some salt in there, and we'll put in a bit of its partner, the old pepper. Now my kids love pepper, so I always go quite heavy with the pepper, but if yours don't, again, it's something that you could leave till it's on their plate. Okay, so I'm going to mix that in, and I'm putting it on quite a low heat because we want it to cook slowly, we don't want them to burn. So I'm just going to keep that nice and low. I put in some olive oil, as I said at the beginning. I use good quality extra virgin olive oil, which is always nice to use. Okay. So I'm just going to leave you now for a few minutes while they're softening, and then I'll come back to you with the rest of the recipe. Okay. See you in a minute. Okay, welcome back to Bake It Mum. So I've left these about 10 minutes just to sweat, and they're nice and soft. You can probably see they've changed colour, a nice little bit darker, and I've been popping back and stirring them every few minutes. So now what I'm going to add is the pancetta. Okay, I'm just going to tip it in, mix it all up. Hi, welcome back. Right, okay, so that's lovely, all mixed in, and you can start to smell that pancetta coming out. So what I'm going to do now is just add all the meat. As I said, we've got pork and beef, so that's going to go in, and we're going to allow that to brown. We don't want to be adding any of the fluid until we've got that mixed in and all lovely turned nice and brown. Okay, so just mix it all in. If your house is anything like our house, they'll be expecting garlic bread and wine with my husband later on. So we will be adding that as an accompaniment, but I'm not going to make that. Just bought one from the supermarket. Okay, so that's all combined and mixed in, and it just needs to be left now. I'll keep popping back every few minutes just to get it all mixed in. But for now, we just need to leave that on a gentle heat, it's on a really low heat. We're going to leave that until it's browned. So I'll be back with you in a little while. Hi, welcome back. So the meat is all lovely and browned now, and it's taken maybe about 5 or 6 minutes on a really nice low heat. So what we need to do now is add the fluid, and what I'm going to add is the 2 tins of tomatoes. You could either use plunged tomatoes or chopped. I tend to use chopped because my kids accept it a little bit better than big bits of tomato in there. So I'll just give that a mix. And I like to put 2 tins in because essentially this is an Italian dish and it should be more tomato than meat. I mean, in this case it isn't. We've got a lot of meat in there, but if you were in Italy, you would have a different ratio. It would be minimal meat and much more tomato. Okay, so that's looking good. Now for the good stuff. In goes the wine. Good old glass of wine there. I'll resist the urge to have a swig. And that's going in there as well. Try and get it all nice and mixed in. Now I think with any mince-based dish, the longer it's been cooking, the better. I'm just going to add a good old squirt of tomato puree, just to keep Gino De Campo happy with the tomatoes. So as I was saying, I think the base of any good mince dish is to have it cooking for as long as possible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my milk, a bit of the scary bit, just to get that creamy texture that we want. I'm going to mix that in, throw in the herbs, make sure it's all combined really nicely and evenly, and then I'm going to transfer this off the hob into my very old and decrepit but reliable slow cooker, because it's going to be about 7 hours until we're going to eat this. So by that time the wine and the milk and everything will have tenderised and it should have turned a really nice dark colour. So at the moment it's looking lovely, but what we want is for it to be cooked for a really long time. So I'm not going to leave you waiting for 7 hours. I'll stop the video now and I'll come back to you at tea time to show you the end result. Hope you all have a great day and we'll see you in a little while. Take care. All the details will be on bakeitmum.co.uk. Bye. Hi, welcome back to Bake It Mum. So our bolognese was in the slow cooker for 6 or 7 hours, and I would have loved to have shown you the full end result with pasta and family and garlic bread. However, while I was out, my troops flew in, thought it smelt lovely and decided to eat. So they served up, did their spaghetti, had their garlic bread and washed up, and when I came back in, it was all done and dusted. However, they did leave me a little bit, which is good. So I can show you the end result of the sauce. It's really darker, much darker than your normal spaghetti bolognese that's made it sort of say in an hour. This has really intensified. The sauce around it, you can tell, is really rich. That wine has seeped right into the sauce, and looking at it, it's almost like the vegetables have really sort of melted away into the sauce. It looks delicious, and I'm sure by the reports before, they all really enjoyed it. So that's Bake It Mum Spaghetti Bolognese. All the ingredient details will be on the website as usual, which you can find at bakeitmum.co.uk or hampshirecookerydemonstrations.co.uk, whichever's easiest. Hope you have a great weekend and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.